Hi everyone, Justin Elliott here from Elliott's Estate Sales here in Oklahoma. I am about to go and do another Goodwill shopping experience, bring you guys along with me. I am in the Midwest City Goodwill that is off of 15th Street. Normally when I come in this particular Goodwill, I don't find a lot. It's very rare that I find something. And this is just one of those locations, like I said in the last video. It's very important to know the median income and where the nicer side of the town is. Goodwill, I know that they move some of their donations, and they have donation, facilities all over Oklahoma that supply their stores. But most of the time, if you go into a Goodwill that is in a lower end area, when I say lower end, median income for Oklahoma is per capita household income is $40,000 to $60,000. And this area over here probably is at least around $40,000 or so. Smaller homes, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe 2-car garage, a normal home. And when you come in here, there's not going to be a lot of designer brands. I think I've maybe found 1 or 2 Coach bags at this location. And other than that, they've normally got some good electronics. They do have a decent electronics side over here. I'm going to take you to this Midwest City location, and then I'm going to take you to the old Circuit City location that's over on Reno in Midwest City. And hopefully we'll be able to get some good stuff. So. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, I'm going to start with the jewelry. I want to look at anything that they have behind the glass cases. Generally, there's a reason for that. They think it's either going to be valuable, it'll bring attention to it, or it can be under or overpriced. Midwest City has a high theft rate at the Goodwills. You can definitely tell it what they put behind the counters versus what they put in Edmond and Norman and such. Now, as I go through the bags here, I'm feeling for good quality materials. I'm also looking for suedes, name brands, styles. Now, this particular bag that I look at the very beginning there, it felt like real leather, and it was real leather. The quality of leather wasn't really that great, but it was still at least leather. And the interior of the bag was pretty clean. I like the style. It was like a bronze metallic look. So keep that and research that for sure. Now, a lot of this stuff has been here for a while. I try to frequent the store as much as I can. Every time I go to the post office, every time I go to the bank, anytime I go home, generally I'm going to stop at this Goodwill on Reno in Midwest City. Throughout the day, Goodwill will bring new merchandise out. And so if you stopped in the morning, there's a good chance that if you stop in the evening that it could be completely something different there. Now this bag here, it kind of looked like a knockoff Dooney to me. And as you can see, there's no white number with Dooney. Generally, Dooney Burks are going to have in the interior, a tag that's white, that's like a linen, that's going to have a number of the model number or the serial number, and then it'll just say like Dooney Burke in there. And that one did not have that. Most of those purses feel, pretty cheap in synthetic materials. And a lot of this you're going to see me peruse through pretty quickly because I've already seen it. I've already been there, done that. Every now and then you'll find something that somebody has hidden, maybe to hide from other potential buyers. They'll put a jacket over a specific shirt, or they'll put another jacket over a jacket. And so it is very important that you do touch every single thing on each item. Look at the brand, look at the style, and make sure that you aren't missing these good brands. Now, I'm sure I'll butcher this brand, but it's Bijou. I look at the cuffs on all of the jackets pretty much first because I want to see, for one, if this person overused this item, and generally the cuffs are a good indicator whether or not the jacket has been taken care of. Now, if you notice, it is missing the belt to cinch the waist. I'm going to pass on that. It's denim. It's really not that hot of an item. Not a good style look right now. Now, that was, I believe, a 12 or 14, so larger size there. which is good. Now this jacket here, it kind of fooled me because it felt like leather, but there just felt like something that was wrong with it. It had to be very cheap, and then, wah, wah. It's not leather, it's vegan leather. That's the reason why it's peeling. Now this jacket here reminded me of a highlighter, color, a marking pen. It's a cute style, but I don't like the color. Gonna keep on moving. Not looking for anything particular, but jackets and coats right now are really popular and they're selling very well online. Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. Jackets are insanely expensive, and if you can find the right one like I have here, this is a Breast Cancer Foundation edition North Face fleece jacket. I believe it is a size large women's. Now you can see a very, very small hole in that pocket there, and it looks like it's actually just a worn spot from the zipper. Now it doesn't affect the coat or the zip or the pocket in any way. The zippers worked. I wanted to make sure that the zippers are there. Sometimes the Columbias, you'll get them, you'll see them, and then they're missing as the actual zipper. So this is an official product, and that's what I'm looking for here. Gonna keep that, definitely research it. Now in my mind, I'm thinking $35, $40. And jackets for women are $7.35, I believe, at Goodwill at this time. I remember the days of them being $4.35. That was nice. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. And just like everything else, you know, Goodwill thinks they need to raise their prices as well. So, and once again, you know, you'll start to now see that's a disappointment right there. Look, it should have been a Ralph Lauren polo, early 90s. Disappointing. Now, I like this houndstooth pattern, but I've never heard of this brand. It really didn't feel like that good of quality, so I kept on going. But as you'll notice, you know, there'll be certain things that are tagged, and it'll be a higher price than what everything else is marked on the rack. And so they will want you to pay an upped price because someone has researched that item and they believe they could get more for it. Now this one here looked like a vintage jacket to me, and I've never heard of the Lawman. Now, I just researched it, I believe, and I don't think it was really worth it, but in the video, I just didn't know at the time, and I wanted to research it for you guys. Buttons look really nice. It's not real fur, but it looked like it would be pretty warm, and that style can be expensive sometimes. As we go over to the other side here, I got distracted by this piece. It looked like a quality piece, and it looked like it was still new with tags. I'm not familiar with that brand. You can research if you like. I haven't researched it yet. If I should go back, maybe I should need to research it and see if I need to go back tomorrow and get that jacket. I'm not sure what the color of the week will be tomorrow for next week, but currently the discount color is yellow at Goodwill. And a lot of times what I like to do is I like to go see what is actually at the Goodwill on Saturday, because if you know on Saturday what their stock looks like, then you might be able to get a good discount first open if you know what the color is on Sunday, because generally they'll announce that on their Facebook here locally. Now, this jacket here, I thought it was a weekender, which is a style of jacket and a name brand, a vintage name brand of a jacket. But as it turns out, that said weekend and not weekender. So I'm not sure if that one is going to pan out well. So I wanted to stick it in the basket and research it for you guys. Lots of Talbots, lots of JCPenney's, Macy's brands, lots of department stores. It's not that I don't buy department store stuff, but, you know, for me to sell clothes, it needs to be something that catches my eye, and it's going to be that specific brand. And I just am not finding it. I thought this Goodwill, you don't really find a lot of name brand, newer within the last 10 years type stuff. It's going to be name brand stuff. So I finished up with the Goodwill on 15th Street. It took me about 30-45 minutes really to look through the whole store. Jackets, home goods, shoes, electronics, and ladies' jackets, men's overcoats, etc. I did pick up 2 items. I got this North Face Breast Cancer Foundation fleece North Face jacket, and as you can see, it's got branded on the back there, and then branded on the front here. And then on the left sleeve, you have the embroidered ribbon. So it's a perfect size. I did pay full price for it at the Goodwill. Full price for a jacket, a lady's jacket, I believe is $7. It looks like this sells for anywhere between $35 and $42. And the reason why I picked it up is because it is this fleece material, and it's kind of a thicker, heavy thermal type material. And it was pink and gray, first of all, great color combination. And then on top of that, it is the Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation edition. So if it had just been a blue and, you know, not special like this, I wouldn't have picked it up because it probably would sell for about $20 less. But this particular jacket, it's got the nice YKK zipper and perfect candidate to resell there. So got that. And then I got a pair of shoes that were half off. Yellow is the Goodwill week that is half off. These are Italian-made leather, just loafers for women. They're size 9.5, so it probably would be for a taller woman. These are about $125, $50, $150 new. I'm sure I will murder the brand. I want to say it's Sesto Muccini, Italian brand. They are very nice. Love the leather trim on them, the brown mixed with the black. They're a little dirty, but I'll be able to clean them up and make them look really nice for the photos. So great pair on there. And that's all I got at that Goodwill. I looked up all the other items that I placed in my basket, and it just didn't make sense. And so I passed on those items. And I am now at the Reno location. Here, it used to be, I believe, a Circuit City, or maybe a Sight and Sound, something like that. And it's right in front of Heritage Park Mall, if you're familiar with the Goodwill. This is one of my favorite Goodwills. Midwest City is home base for me. I have a house here, and it is easy for me to come to this one, really easy, because it's actually on my way to the post office. And so anytime I go to the post office, I try to swing by this location. You'll see me here very often. I'm gonna take you in, and we'll see if we can find some good stuff to buy. Okay, so now at the Reno location, looking through the jewelry, I don't really see anything that's been added since the last time I was here at the store. Now, I do notice that there's some American Crew men's shaving gel there. I'm not really looking at that to resell it or anything. I actually was just looking at it to buy it for myself. I wanted to see what they had it marked. As it turns out, I believe it was $3.95 and they had it half off, and that was for both of them, so it turned out to be a good deal for me. You always want to check the glass cases. Sometimes you'll find some gold that's not been prized. Sometimes you'll find some sterling. I found a 14 karat gold sapphire ring that was at one in Norman that was unmarked. It was $5, and immediately I looked at it, could tell it was gold and sapphire, so I purchased that right up. Take a look at the purses here. Everybody knows I like to start with the purses. I'm looking for quality and new items that have been added. I don't really see a lot of really new items that I haven't seen before here at this Goodwill. Until I saw the Bagolini bag here. This is the Bagolini bag. They sell really well for me. They're crossbody, very cool little light travel bag. And I like the little buckle front there. Newer style, interior looks really good. Adjustable handle or adjustable strap. Perfect. Now this bag here, I immediately could tell that it was good construction and good leather. And I couldn't really find any flaws with it, really, except for the fact that it looked like the handle, the materials that was within the handle, the leather woven handle, were actually coming apart. There was some red part exposed. I believe it was an Antonio Mellini, and that brand actually does sell real well for me secondhand, but I prefer not to sell things with just obvious flaws like that. I mean, if it's scratched or nicked or something like that, I don't mind, putting that in the description and letting people know that it is a used piece and that it does have a little bit of wear. But if it's got something wrong with the handle like that, I just prefer to save me a return and keep a customer very happy instead of offering them second grade products. So just because you're selling used clothes doesn't mean you can't find some good stuff. Now, I always try to look in rhinestones and sequins type stuff, especially for early 60s and 50s and 40s dresses. The thing about the dresses that are that old is that they will be vintage. Sometimes they will have some yellowing. And the small sizes were so small back then that a lot of times they're not going to fit a modern type lady. And so they will fit a mannequin, but they won't normally fit a woman that's going to buy it with sight unseen. So you want to be careful, and normally when you sell those, you want to say that they are literally being sold as a model piece. Sizes are not important. You can give them the dimensions, but I've had great luck selling older sequin gowns and dresses. Now these boots looked new and they looked leather. They weren't. I could tell by touching them they were pleather and a vegan style of leather. I don't really see a lot of new shoes over here since I've been here. Now, that is the benefit to going to your Goodwill that is closest to you very, very often, is because it's not going to take you as long to look through the entire store to find the new items. And if you know what's in stock there at your local Goodwill, then you know that what color it is if you're pretty organized and can remember that. If you can't, then if you're a reseller, if I were you, I would put down the address and I would also mark down what was there, what color it was, and how much it was. Now you can see I spotted some loafers over here, some men's loafers. They were size 9.5. I had never heard of the brand before, and they were cute, but you could tell they weren't really built for longevity. So lots of vintage stuff over here at the Reno Goodwill in Midwood City. Lots of vintage student desks and such. Lots of toys. We'll have to make a video on toys another day. I'm just not prepared for it at this time, and honestly, I'm not in the position where I can get into toys at this moment. I have sold plenty of toys. There is good money selling toys, but you have to find the right stuff, and you have to have time to look it all up. And at this time, I just don't have time for that for today. So this all took me, I want to say between the two, I want to say about 45 minutes, and it took me about an hour to edit the video. So that's as long as I had to invest in it. The Goodwills are pretty close together. Lots of housewares, glasswares, lots of clear glassware, as you can imagine. It's very hard for us to sell that at an estate sale liquidation, much less at Goodwill. There was just so much of it mass-produced. Now, love me some coffee cups. I will say that probably in every video. Now, I love the Reese's. That orange immediately caught my eye because I love Reese's, but wah wah, it's not an official product. So they've stuck somebody as unlicensed designed on that cup, and it's cool, but I think that one was actually missing a lid. Now, this teacher one, if I didn't have already 50, 75 coffee mugs in stock that need to be listed, I would totally have grabbed that up. It was a decent deal. I think it was $1.95. That's probably a $15, $20 mug. Teachers, nurses, any kind of niche position like that, if it has names on it, stuff like that, if it's a cute one, I always pick those up. So just FYI. Now, the Pella Studio leather jackets, those do real well. We want to make sure that the leather looks really good. Larger sizes in these jackets is going to be beneficial. Smaller as well. So super small and extra, extra large are going to be high sellers because they are so expensive, and finding things that are of large size online is particularly hard, especially in the secondhand market, because large clothing is so expensive. There's a couple new leather pieces here. Now this LL Bean, if I really was just going hard on jackets, I would totally have picked that up because it probably would have sold for maybe $30. It was a small, but I've just, it's got to be that specific item. Now I did like this Guess, and that was a really nice looking jacket. Good quality, not the average Guess quality jacket there. Now you'll see that I spot this, and that is a CBO, and it is basically brand new. And I'm not sure if that is rabbit or it is fox fur trim on the parka and the sleeves. Now, I did notice it had been hemmed at the bottom, so someone took it up a little bit. It was in great shape other than that, so it kind of makes me think maybe they bought it and then maybe it was too big or too small for them and they just decided they didn't want to wear it. But in good shape nonetheless. If I was going like I would like to be with jackets, I would have got this one too. Good little athletic brand, but it's not Columbia, so... Now, this particular jacket is, I would say, probably about a $300 or $400 jacket. Now, you notice I did start looking at it. It looked like it had some white stuff on the back of it. It was just dust. Somebody probably dragged the floor with it. I'll be happy to clean that up with some warm water. It's definitely going to need a let roller if I was to buy it. And be sure that you do look through each tag and make sure that you look at the contents, the material contents. You can find a lot of cashmere, a lot of wool, silk blends, coats. You never know what you're going to find. You know, somebody else's coat that they've outgrew or they've used for a couple seasons and they don't want it anymore might be your next favorite item. So I definitely like to look at the coats. I've saved myself a fortune on coats just by shopping Goodwill and being able to find stuff that would fit me, that looked good on me, that was a good quality product. Now you can see that's an Alan Flesher there. I believe that's a Dillard's brand. They don't sell real well secondhand for me. And I want to say that's a $120 jacket, but they just don't sell well on the secondhand market. So not enough men shopping for Alan Flesher. And I do go through pretty fast. If I had another hand to be flipping through, then I would be able to flip through a lot quicker. But what I'm feeling for, I mean, just to feel the material tells me everything I need to know about these particular jackets. You can feel the difference between a quality blazer or suit or fabric in any of the clothing in comparison to anything else that's in the store. Now this here, I immediately caught my eye because it is a Quacker Factory. If you're not familiar with Quacker Factory, it was a brand that was sold on QVC and HSN, I believe, on the early 2000s. Really expensive. It was a lady that owned it, and I believe she has passed away since. But you'll find a lot of Quacker Factory stuff, and she has much nicer sweaters than that one that I saw, so I just passed on it. But some of her sweaters are absolutely beautiful. They have great detail. Hi everybody, I'm back. I finished going through that whole store. It didn't really look like there was a lot of new stuff since the last time I was there, but I did find a couple of new items. And I found one item on sale. The item that I bought is going to be a 3XL 100% lamb's wool. It is rabbit fur lined, or rabbit fur trim. I would show you the coat, but it is a huge coat. It is 3X. It's got rabbit on the cuffs. It has rabbit on the parka. And then it is brand new. It is a little dirty. I'll have to clean it up. Wool just attracts, any kind of fur or any kind of anything on it. But it is a CBO New York. I don't know if you can see that. CBO New York. And a very nice lining. The jacket is brand new. It still has the tags on it, actually. 100% lamb's wool. And then the slit in the back is still sewn together. So it's a brand new jacket. I looked the comps up on these. I could not find this exact style with the fur, but they go anywhere between $60 for just a jacket and $100 for a jacket. And so I'm assuming I would probably get about $100, maybe $100 and a quarter, maybe $150. Probably put like $199 on it. Larger ladies clothing does really, really well, specifically if it is well made, good quality stuff. My mom is a 3XL, and it's very hard to find clothing for her that is secondhand, that's in good quality, that lasts. And so anytime I see anything, I will normally pick it up for either her or some other big girl. But anyway, I picked that up, and then I got my favorite brand to sell. No, it's not a Louis. No, it's not a Prada. It is actually called a Bagalini, and these are so cute. It's casual. I love the color. The bottom of it looks really good. The handle looks really good. Love these bags. These bags sell for me within 24 hours generally, and they sell for good money. This is probably a $40 bag. New, this is probably about an $80 bag. And if you're in the market for one of these bags, let me know. It is a crossbody, super good shape, no stains, super nice. And I picked that up for just $4, I think $5. And then on sale, behind the counter, I got me some aftershave products. These are on sale, and they smell really good. And got those. And I'm gonna go on home. I've got some stuff to start listing. I'm gonna edit this video and then put it up for you guys to take a look. If you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. If you like this content, please let me know down below. Like this video, subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.